man sleeping with my wife. Called me son. He sat at my table. He ate my food. He shook my hand at every family dinner. An entire time, he was one of 4 men my wife was seeing behind my back. I did not know that for 14 months. 14 months. Every Sunday family visit. Every holiday. Every time he looked me in the eye, he knew exactly what I did not. What I found, and what I chose to do with it, took 90 days. And by the end, not one of them saw it coming. Before we go any further, subscribe to Revenge Handler. This channel exists for every man who gave his best years and received betrayal in return. If that is hitting close to home right now, you are exactly where you need to be. Hit subscribe, because what I am about to tell you, you need to hear all of it. My name is Marcus. I am 34 years old. I was married for 6 years. I trusted her with everything I had. This is my story. Section D. Intensity drop in word for word. Get comfortable, because the people in this story had every chance to do the right thing. They chose wrong. Every single time. Drop a comment below. Make sure you are subscribed. You are going to want to be here for this. And if you think you know where this is going, you don't. Not even close. Section E. Confrontation. It started with a name I did not recognize. A contact saved under 2 initials. Not a name. Initials. My hands were steady when I picked up the phone. Then they were not. 3 seconds. That was all it took. 3 seconds, and everything I knew about my marriage stopped being true. She was in the shower. I could hear the water running. I sat down on the edge of the bed. I did not move for 11 minutes. She walked out. She looked at me. She smiled. I smiled back, because I had already made a decision, and she did not know it yet. Let me take you back to where this started. 6 years ago, I married the woman I thought I knew completely. We met through family. That matters. She came into my life through my stepfather's side. He introduced us at a birthday dinner. I remember thinking, this man has good taste in people. I trusted his judgment completely. I worked nights, 3 shifts a week, 12 hours each. I did it for us, the house, the car, the life we were building. She said she understood. She said she was proud of me. She was home most nights I was gone. Or so I believed. What I did not know was that those nights had a pattern I had never seen, because I was never there to see it. The first crack appeared on a Thursday. She left a second phone charging in the bathroom, not her regular phone. A different one, older. She said it was her sister's. I nodded. I did not ask again, but I remembered. A man who pays attention does not forget details like that. I went to work that night, and I started thinking about every other small thing I had excused. The late return from a family dinner. The perfume that smelled different when she came home. The way she laughed differently on the phone in the other room. Individually, nothing. Together, they told a different story. Drop a comment below where you're watching from right now. And do not go anywhere, because what comes next is the part one almost did not tell. If you are just joining, go back to the beginning, because what I am about to say only makes sense if you know what came before. I did not go looking that night. I want to be honest about that. I came home early on a Tuesday. My shift ended 4 hours ahead of schedule. I parked on our street. I sat in the car. Something felt wrong. I did not know why. I just sat there. 11 minutes. Then I went inside. She was not home. It was 2 a.m. Her regular phone was on the kitchen counter. The other phone, the one she said was her sister's, was face down on the bathroom shelf. I picked it up. It was not password protected. That was her first mistake. The messages were still open. I read 4 conversations in order, for different names, for different men, and the last one on the thread made my chest go completely still. The name I saw was not a stranger. It was a name I knew, a name I had trusted, a name that had sat across from me at my own table. My stepfather. I put the phone back exactly where I found it. Face down, I walked to the kitchen. I poured a glass of water. I drank it slowly. She came home 40 minutes later. She said she had been at her sister's. I told her I was tired. We went to bed. I did not sleep. She did. She had been careful for a long time. That much I understood now. Different days. Different men. She used that second phone to keep it separate. It stayed at her sister's most of the time. That was her cover. Her sister knew, or at least suspected, and said nothing. That detail I filed away. The reason she believed she was safe. My stepfather had more to lose than anyone. His wife, his reputation inside the family, his relationship with me. She believed his silence was guaranteed. She believed she held his secret, and he held hers. That balance was what she had built her safety on. She forgot one thing. A man with that much to lose is also a man who panics. She had one human moment I did not expect. A week after I found the phone, we were watching television. Nothing was said. She looked at me for a long moment, and quietly, she said, "You seem far away lately." It was the most honest thing she had said to me in months. I almost said something. I almost broke the silence right there. Then I remembered the messages, and I said, "Just tired." That moment passed, and I did not waste another one. If this is hitting close to home, give this video a like right now. You know exactly why. I made one mistake in those early days. I told my cousin I had found something. Not what, just that something was wrong in my marriage. He called her the next day, not to warn her, just to check in. She noticed a shift in his tone. Still with me? Good, because this is where everything changes. I had the full picture now, not every detail, but enough. For men, 14 months. One of them, someone I called family. The evidence was in my memory. In the deleted threads I had partially reconstructed, and in the call logs I had requested from our shared account. She did not know I had access to that account. She had forgotten it was still in my name. I want to be honest about one moment. There was a Sunday about 3 weeks in when she made breakfast, set the table, put flowers in the center, the way she did when we were first married. I sat down. She poured my coffee, and for one moment, I thought, what if I was wrong about something? What if I had misread it? The love almost won that morning. Then my stepfather walked to the front door for our regular Sunday visit, smiled at me, hugged her hello, and in that single moment, every question I had dissolved. I was not wrong. There was nothing left to wonder about. The decision was simple. Patience over confrontation. I had seen what happened when I moved early. The deleted messages, the 3 lost weeks. If I confronted directly, she would deny. He would deny. I would have memories and partial records. That is not enough. Patience gives you documents. Patience gives you dates. Patience gives you a case that cannot be argued with. Early confrontation costs you everything you do not yet have. Waiting costs nothing, except time. And I was willing to spend the time. I spent the next 60 days building quietly. I documented every Sunday visit, every dinner, every handshake, every time he spoke to her directly. I noted the days I worked nights. I checked the call logs on the family account. His number appeared on 7 of those nights. 7 nights I was not home. 7 calls, not suspicious on their own, but with everything else, they completed the picture. I also made a quiet call to a lawyer, not to file anything, just to understand my options, just to know where I stood. The answer gave me clarity. Subscribe now if you haven't, because what I did and what it cost all of them, I have never told anyone the full version. Until right now, you stayed. Good. Because this right here is the part that changed everything. The karma did not come from confrontation. It came from the same place the betrayal had lived, inside the family. She had used family access as her cover. Sunday dinners, trusted names, closeness that looked ordinary from the outside. I used the same network. I arranged a dinner. Not unusual. I hosted every few months. I invited her, his wife, my stepfather, her sister, a handful of others. Before anyone arrived, I placed printed copies of the call logs and partial message records in sealed envelopes, one for his wife. One I kept. I did not deliver them at the dinner. I waited until the table was full, until everyone was comfortable, until it had already shaken my hand twice. Then I stood up. I said I needed to say something important. I kept my voice level. I said I had spent 90 days making sure I understood what had happened in my marriage. I said I was not angry. I said I was done. I handed the envelope to his wife directly. I told her, "This concerns your husband. You should see it." I did not look at my stepfather. I did not look at my wife. I picked up my jacket, and I left the table. I sat in my car for 22 minutes. My phone lit up 47 times. I did not answer once. The aftermath was not clean. Her sister stopped speaking to me. 2 family members took her side, said I had humiliated everyone publicly. That part I had not planned for. The cost of the public delivery was a fracture in the family I had been part of for 6 years. I lost people I had not expected to lose. That is the thing about victory. It is never exactly what you pictured. His wife filed for divorce within the month. My wife called me every day for 3 weeks. I answered once. She said, "You didn't have to do it that way." I said, "You're right." But I did. I hung up. Here is the thing I keep coming back to. The first time I met her 6 years ago, he introduced us. He said, "This one's worth your time." I remembered that line at the dinner table. As I handed his wife the envelope, he was right. She was worth every single day of the 90 I spent. I did not destroy her. I simply stopped protecting her. If this story moved you, subscribe to Revenge Handler. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment below. Your story matters too. I will see you in the next one.